Hey, welcome everyone. If you guys didn't know, this is my dad right here. My name is Briggs. We are the two owners of Miles Pellet Stove, bringing you all another pellet stove repair video. And we're going to be continuing on the series for the US stove model 5660, and we're going to be removing and replacing the convection fan, right?
Yep, the convection room air fan. So that's the fan that blows the good hot air out into your room or your house. So we're going to do that today. And it's a little tricky, but in a minute I'm going to show you a couple of the tools that you will need at home to do this to save yourself and your friends and your family some money. So join with us. Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, welcome back. So prior to doing any maintenance, we always say unplug your stove for safety. Throw that aside. But I think today, Briggs, well, maybe some snips, maybe to take apart a zip tie. We may have to do that. Snips. And a standard socket set with an extension. This will be extremely helpful. So again, if you don't have one, please visit Harbor Freight, Ace Hardware, if you can afford it. If you can't, ask your neighbor. We'll see you on the next scene. Ready, Briggs?
I'm definitely ready.
Let's take this convection room air. This convection room air fan out.
Beautiful.
And then Briggs is going to put it back in to help you, your friends, and your family save some money. So let's do it.
Is that the hand signal to go?
Okay, let's go.
All right, sounds good. So, everyone, we're going to be starting to take that convection fan out, and what you all want to do, you're going to be locating the right side of the stove facing forward. You're going to be opening up this panel. And what's nice, what US Stove did on here, which I've been a fan favorite of, is magnetic doors. Two magnets right here. There's no bolts, screws, latches, or clips or anything, and it just nicely opens up. Helps saves you a few minutes. So, here is the fan. We're going to be removing this whole thing, motor, fins, and the snail camshell itself. There are going to be 4 bolts here. You're going to have this inner one here, an outer, and this will be a little harder to see. And this is the challenging part, right back of there. Can you see that?
Yeah, I'm going to zoom in on. There's the 4th.
There's 4th. Now you can see you have very little room to work with right here. But this is why this extension is very handy in getting in there. So before I start unscrewing those bolts, I want to take you guys over here. I get my clippers. This wire harness, more than likely, you're going to have this all fastened together with a zip tie. So what we're going to do to help kind of clear things up, we're going to snip this zip tie, get that out of here, so we can unravel these wires, and see that? Have a little more room to work with. Now, when you remove that zip tie, just be very careful you don't nick these wires. Not a really good thing to do. You're going to be disconnecting these wires here. Put these off to the side or just tuck them somewhere so they're not too much of a headache. Put these back here, and good enough. Now, with those out of the way, you can see that, more room to work with. We're going to be hitting these bolts. Now, I like working from the bottom up, just because when you start undoing these are free, and then when you get these free, then it's fully free rather than you go here, then to the bottom, and it's just leaning there, just more hassle. So let's get these bottom ones out of the way. Now the challenge here, limited room, limited visibility. You can use either the handheld one right here, or we like to be a little fancy to get things done a little quicker. We're gonna be going with the electrical one. So what we're gonna do is just that. I'm gonna tackle that back end right over there. Hook up my setup here. This 90-degree DeWalt tool has been pretty handy to help get to these bolts rather than taking all day. So I'm gonna go back here, get this in there, just kind of like surgery. Find that back bolt. You able to see that?
Yeah.
Just like that. Look how quick that was. Boom. Take this to the side, and I'll just keep going. We'll get this one right here. Boom. Get that out of the way. Stay organized. Make sure those bolts don't run away. And over here, I'll get some light in here so we can see. I'm gonna tackle that back one since it's a little harder to get to. And you can just nicely angle that in there just enough to unscrew it just like that. And then finally, we'll get this one right here. Unscrew that. That's loosened. Do a little fancy foam in this camshell, just so it doesn't just drop. I'm gonna stay organized again. Bolts down here. Put this to the side. And right here, everyone, just nicely take off the fan. And there you go. Your convection fan is out.
Okay, here's the convection room air fan. So we took it out, and we really ask you, each year, if you can do it, take this fan out and take compressed air and other materials just to keep it clean, because what happens, dust gets into this smaller fan, and most of all, this is the part here, when it rotates, the air goes this way and the front of your stove. So what happens, in all these fins, you will get dust, you will get dog hair, cat hair, anything in there. And after a while, if it gets clogged, the fins have nothing to grab as far as air, and you won't get any air coming out of here. So each year, maintain this, clean it out really nice, clean around the motor, everything like we just did here. This is a darn good fan, and you don't have to spend all day on it, but just get some of the dust, grime, and all the other garbage off of it before you install it.
All right, ready to work backwards? Oh man, I'm gonna whip myself with the wire there. Be careful of your parts, everyone. So yeah, well, let's put this back in. This fan's still good, and so we'll still got a little bit of life in it. So we would like to reuse this. So you either take your used fan that you cleaned out, or your brand new one that came in the box, and essentially we're just going to be doing that whole process that you saw earlier, except backwards. But before we get right back into that, if you guys got time, please like, share, and subscribe. Really helps us out to help you guys, and we really appreciate y'all. How was that, Dad? Is that good? On par?
We're dang good. You're about ready to go on the Home Shopping Network.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Enough fooling around. So let's get back in here, and we are going to get this fan right back in. So let your fan just sit there, and what we're gonna do, plan of action, I like to pre-thread these bolts. I like starting from the top here. So before we start just tightening them all willy-nilly, just get in here, slowly just thread them just a little bit, not all the way. You'll see the reason why. Let that sit. Same over here. I do this so then it's a little easier to get all these screws in. Once you got a good baseline and they're just kind of in there sitting, you kind of see it coming together. Just let that stay. We're gonna go down here, do the same. See if we can get the flashlight in there. That's a little better. And slowly just do that. That magnet's actually pretty good on this part. Then lastly, the fun one, way back there. Let's see if I can just pre-thread it. And this last one way far back there is always the most fun to tackle. So once you have it all good there, then you can start giving it a little bit more strength. There, we'll have a little fun right here. We attach this. This handy tool has been very handy for many different stoves. Hook back there, see if you can thread it perfect. There you go. That's tight. Use that pesky bolt for the tool, and then just keep going around, just as so. That's perfect. Keep going around. The same thing up here. Beautiful. And then lastly, that one back there. Let's see if she's friendly. Have to get in there. Perfect. There we go. Cool. All right. She's solid. She ain't gonna go anywhere, which is nice. And don't forget, right here, you're gonna get these wires in. This one's an easy one to forget about, but we want to make sure we plug the fan back into the main line. Now here, you can either replace it with a zip tie if you want to.
Bonus.
If you can. Oh man, look at
Bonus.
you already. Or you can just tuck it in out of place. So the main point is make sure these wires are out of the way of any moving surfaces or the hot surfaces. The last thing you want is the wires to get tangled up somewhere, or worse, they're touching the warmer parts of the stove and then it gets all melted. Not really your friend. So there we go. You just gotta make sure, it doesn't have to be too fancy. Just make sure it's out of the way. These things need to get sharpened a little bit. There, hold that.
What in the world?
Oh, there we go. Something working.
The dad's old tools.
They're still working, so there it is.
But you know, this works, you know, they can do a zip tie, or you can set the wires aside, or if you have some electrical tape, just go around and make a bunch. And that looks nice.
Yep. There you go. It's out of the way. It's all good. Last but not least, one of my favorites again. Ready? Boom. It's all done. All right, everyone. That's all we got for you. Thank you guys for watching this video, and hopefully it's been helpful for replacing your convection fan on this particular US stove, pellet stove model. So without any further ado, Dad, you got anything else to share with them?
Well, just a little bit. You know, we got a slew or a bunch of videos with different brands and models, and just go through our library. Hopefully one of them will help you, your friends and family save some money. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.